So it's been over a year since Boneworks released, and it is still a really good game. I just wanted to take a look at it since it's my second favorite game of all time. And obviously, there will be spoilers and violence, so let's get into Boneworks. At surface level, Boneworks looks very dry in terms of the story. The only thing you really know is that you're in a virtual OS. Everybody else got kicked out and you have to get to the tower to reset the clock. You make your way through the city and eventually get to the tower and reset the clock and break the Boneworks and get into the void. If you're wondering what the Boneworks is, well...
The Boneworks program then, not the game, but the actual in-game Boneworks project that Arthur Ford and his co-workers have built, is the layer between the Void and the Myth OS city. It's kinda like a protective barrier, so that if you die in the game, you don't die in real life. You just resurrect in the system. That's why we have the second line of those quotes I mentioned earlier, Boneworks' backend is the only thing preventing true death.
Then you wake up in one of the most confusing video game levels I've ever played. This is supposedly Fantasyland, a game being worked on by Stress Level Zero, because in their own universe, they are a game studio. You eventually fight an arena, which is basically the king's test. You get to a castle, and fight a clone of yourself, which is also the king. Then eventually, you get to Chamber 2, climb up it, which is really annoying to do, and once you make it to the top, a final cutscene plays. But if you look deeper and deeper, you'll see a ton of lore. And a ton of lore that connects back to Duck Season 2. There's quite a bit of mystery and hidden stuff that brings out a much more interesting story. You have to dig and look around in Boneworks, Duck Season and Duck Season PC. And honestly, once you figure it out, it's one of the most interesting stories played out in VR. And Stress Level Zero is also building a universe around this game, so expect a lot more in the upcoming Project 4. The gameplay is the main reason you play this game. Boneworks has a really advanced physics engine that makes nearly every object interactable, each having their own physics. This makes for some really immersive gameplay, and it really is amazing and like no other game. And the weapons. Oh my, the weapons are so good. There's an assortment of them, from bats and swords to pistols and rifles. They feel really good to fight with, especially the guns. Every reload feels incredible. Something about actually getting to reload instead of pressing R and having an animation is just so fun. Pulling off insane moves like your James Bond in slow-mo is so fun and cool to mess around with. There's also a bunch of physics puzzles that really work your brain. And for all you completionists out there are a bunch of collectibles to find. These are little balls that contain different items that you can use in the sandbox mode. There are many of them hidden throughout the expansive, detailed levels, so don't worry, you'll be playing multiple times over to find everything. There are so many possibilities of gameplay with the physics, it's crazy. There's also a really nice inventory system. Instead of pressing a button to pull up a menu or pulling out a backpack, everything you can just pull off your body. It doesn't work perfectly, but it's really nice just to pull your stuff off your body instead of a menu. Plus, this game has one of the best uses of the Valve Index circuits, and that means you can do that. This game just has endless possibilities of what you can do that will make you come back multiple times. Everything audio in Boneworks is so good! The sound design is really incredible, with great weapon effects, great enemy sound design, and everything in between. But what I really want to focus on in the audio department is the masterpiece that is Bone Tones. This is the original soundtrack done by Michael Wyckoff with the help of Jonathan LaMarche. Wyckoff being the composer of Stress Celsius's 2 previous games, Hover Junkers and Duck Season. I believe 1 or 2 are done by Alex Knoll, the game's creative director. This soundtrack is one of the best game soundtracks I've ever heard. There are so many good songs that I listen to regularly. Here are some of the best. There's also Pick It Up, which was made for a future game, but they put in Boneworks as an Easter egg. And as generic as it sounds, it's randomly one of the best songs in the game. I'm really excited to see what he has in store for Project 4. So, really good job, Michael. But besides that amazing soundtrack, all the sounds are real good. The entire audio department in Boneworks is just fantastic. Post-game content is something I always look for. This game has a good amount that makes the $30 price tag that much better. There's the arena mode with the fantasy and the zombie warehouse that are both extremely fun in their own ways. Zombie warehouse being the much larger one and more possibilities, and fantasy arena being much more simpler. But they're both insanely fun to play through, and I've spent countless hours in them. It's awesome just to be able to fight and try to survive as long as you can. They both also have their own modes and minigames. Then there's Sandbox, this being the one I don't play nearly as much, but I can see why people would, as it is the mode where you can essentially do anything. There are the normal ones like Blank Box, Tuscany, or the Museum Basement. Then there are the weirder ones with their own special things to do, like the Redacted Chamber, Handgun Trial, and Hover Junkers. Hover Junkers definitely being the largest of them all. You just want to hop in and spawn 50 Nullmen, play Tuscany or Blank Box. You just want to go through an airsoft-like time trial, do Handgun Trial. You want to fly, play Hover Junkers. But don't expect to have all these for free. You have to look around the game for their respective modules and all the items and enemies. It's a bit annoying you have to unlock the enemies, but it's not that hard to get them, so it doesn't really matter that much. They did a great job with the post-game content, and I highly doubt there will be much more or nothing at all, as they're working really hard on Project 4. So to wrap up, Boneworks is still a fantastic game, and one of the best VR games. Brandon and the team did a really good job on everything. It is definitely worth $30. It's a revolutionary VR title that brings insane physics and is for advanced users, which I really like. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.